2 weeks ago, give or take, I made the how video at open mic down the street, and it was serendipitous. And at the end, I realized I had never actually hit the record button. So I suppose I had to mourn that process in also further learning about the whys of the hows. We don't always get to plan, like, it's an illusion that we get to plan the how of why anything works. Uh, just as like the how of why any of this and any of us exist anyway, aren't those the things we search, we question for the why, but the how is what we would really like, the mechanics of it, how exactly. So, but those are illusions because those are the parts that we have absolutely no control over. We can think that we have some, and we can set ourselves up for success to have, some semblance of a grasp on the how of any of this. But at the end of the day, that is not for us and has never been. And the law of attraction says, that's not the part that you concentrate on. You put your intention and attention towards the what, of your desires, and the how you'll get bogged up because the hows take place, if movies and stories and memories are any way of, proving fact, then uh, the how is always sometimes nothing we ever could have, envisioned or set up for ourselves in any sort of way. It happens in and of its own accord. Like the how of my body being able to move and do things and say and, concise. And I often sit around and think about, our skeletons, that we are full of bones. And that, like, we made those, like, grew into them, and, like, here we are, and I can manipulate it easily, and do countless, endless things, make art or music or dance or move it. And we don't have to think about the hows of doing that, it just happens. Here we are. It's mind boggling, the power of the electricity, it takes to run a light bulb. And even that, like electricity, we understand that we can utilize it and that it's available to us, but we still don't really know how it works. And we're only just now discovering more about, the electromagnetic field and how we're a part of all of that. And I foresee a brighter future when we better understand. But even that, manifesting wise is a how that we will come to, supposedly in divine timing, Uh, gosh. But if the question is, how am I? Honestly, uh, I am okay. And I guess it took me a 10-year process to get to the point where I can sit here and say that I am okay. I look forward to being joyful and blissful and all those sort of things soon. But, even that, I am not, I can't control the how of that. I can only control, even loosely, each new individual moment, each now, to say, this is how I want to feel. And so I choose it. I make that choice, and hope upon hope and trust that the future is made up of the vibrations we emit now. The fact that we don't understand how our consciousness works, but I believe that it's the glimpses I get into the truths that I see just show me more and more that, gosh, if we could get out of the low vibrational, droopy, sloopy energy of this current paradigm, which was just what we all collectively, wanted it to go. And so here we are. We could just, if the future was made up of all the nows, like that thing that they said. I don't know if I already said this, but like, there's that meme going around, like, if the time travel paradox is that if you were to go back in time and like step on a bug, it would irreversibly change the future. Why don't we think of the present with that sort of power? That we are, if we truly could understand the how of how I can even use my muscle in my skull to convey these ideas with you, and the technology to transfer them, like, we could really understand those hows, I think we would have more reverence for the majesty and the magic and the mystery that is this existence. But I think we definitely wish to have more control, and so we think that we understand, you know, how our bodies work, or how we heal, or how we grow, or how we got here, or how this computer or this camera works. Like these are things that are a little bit more beyond our, I don't know. How is anyone? How are you? How are you guys doing out there? I'm talking to a computer screen, and then you'll click on this eventually and listen to my words through your computer screen. And is this connection? I'd like to think so. I'd like to see more of that. Because how I am is hanging in there. And I've been in standby mode for a while, and I'd like to make more of these because I feel like it's part of what I'm here to do. If we knew the hows and the whys and the whats of what we're doing here. But I don't think that that's the point of life. The point of life is the journey and the figuring and the thinking and the experiencing and the enjoying and the suffering and the everything in between. But if we can tap into that, if we can tap into these basic ideas, and where science and spirituality have overlapped in our new days, we can make a new way just by each more intentionally going about our hows and our whats and our whys. I know I should practice what I preach, and so I intend to do that. Gosh, I wish you guys could have heard and seen the other video that I made, because it was on point, but that's not how this was supposed to go, and I must trust that. These affirmations, the idea of like the placebo effect, that really goes unspoken about, that like we don't understand how that works, but we know that it works well enough that we base all of our controls and science off of it, and that field. So like, why can't we further believe? What a how that I have a theory about is the how of how any of this is a thing, is I think that belief is like a really powerful tool, and almost like a force, like gravity or vibration or motion, that like belief is everything. It's all what we believe about this experience or ourselves, or everything what we collectively and individually believe has shaped our existence. And so if we can really harness that, and what have the most powerful belief centers, organized religion, mostly been preaching, is fear. Even though the texts that they are, basing their ideologies around all talk about love being like the force of the universe and like what connects us all, and like, we can heal ourselves, and we're, greater than we were led to believe, like children of gods. And in my experience, it's how we don't get to know either in this lifetime, how the universe came about. Is it sentient? Is it, was it, is it, as it, are we it, what's the point? Are all of these questions that we constantly can discuss, but that we can't really get any solution to ever, So to say that if we could really all across the board utilize belief, to moment by moment vibrationally manifest a better paradigm for the near future. Gosh, wouldn't that be the best? And what is that other than everybody just accepting themselves for the way they are, loving themselves, appreciating and acknowledging their own unique, piece of this tapestry, and then celebrating that and trying to live each moment joyfully. And I get like the whole fake it till you make it. I feel like I'm in the middle. Sometimes I felt like I was at the end, but I think I'm in the middle now of this long process of like Well, and that's a belief too. This, however long process to get to, well, where are we getting to be more presently a vibration that makes me happy, because if that's, my responsibility is my own vibration, and everybody's responsible is their own vibration, and the reflections are just, to bring things out of us, but it's not really anybody else, it's just ourselves, um, interacting with our own experience to say what do I want, and who am I, and what am I, and what do I who do I, you know ah. So to say that we can all manifest that as individuals, like, but I guess I've been on this moving forward momentum to get to some finish line that may be arbitrary. um, Fake it till you make it worked for me, because I remember when it was impossible to try, seemingly impossible to try to think positive thoughts or feel good even for a moment in what I was already feeling. And so now that I'm at this sort of content middle ground, uh, where I can say I'm okay, it's a little bit easier to get in the practice of, in more moments, taking a deep breath and being able to utilize the law of attraction to say, in The Secret or whatever you want to call it, to say, let me feel good about myself and my future and think nice thoughts about myself for a minute. Our bodies try to talk to us all the time. And so when I get eye twitches, it's been really effective for, with my right eye, it's because I'm not thinking good things about myself. So I'll take and stop and take a minute to go, I'm wonderful, I'm fantastic, I'm awesome, I'm doing a great job. And almost immediately, instantly get results of it stops. Um, my left eye has been twitching recently. And so I've had to think about it as, or my other one. So, like, it's when I'm getting all worked up about things, and I just have to take a moment to say, I trust, I believe, I accept, I achieve. And, these are words that I may not always fervently feel, but the trick, I suppose, is the more often I say them, the more often or think them, putting out that vibration, the easier it is to step into that vibration. And then I've seen my path already get to here, so I know that over time will get me to, joyful and happy and all the things that, loved and understood and accepting, and all the little affirmations I have on post-its on my mirror, which is a nice way to get in the habit of doing that. At the very least, I know I've told you this before, but if you're not doing any sort of positive self-talk or aware of, because thoughts are the whole thing that's like generating all of this, thoughts and beliefs are just thoughts that you choose to think over and over and over again because they make you feel good, hopefully, or not, but because they make you feel something, and that's what you're. I digress. um the very least, try to tell yourself that you love yourself, or something nice about yourself. uh you get to choose at the end of the day. I know it doesn't always feel like a choice, but you get to choose your own inner monologue. You're the narrator and the script writer, and you know it's only with awareness that we have at least 98% uh, like authority inside our own brains. And the how of that, I don't understand either. But I guess we don't have to. We just must trust. So I'm reaching out to say that I wish I could have shown you again that original video. I accept that this was the one that was meant for you today. Hopefully, you know who I'm talking to, and letting you know that I'm doing okay. The how of me is here, standing by for further evolutionary progress. And in the meantime, I'll sit in this corner of this box on this nice spring day and try to enjoy myself and say, I'm okay. I accept myself just the way that I am. I approve of my life. I love my life. I approve of myself. I love myself. I accept my life. I accept the world. I accept all of you. And I wish you progress on your journey. It's inevitable, but, with a little intention, you can make it good. As always, I love you and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.